back down to the weekly support.
Yeah, and so usually like right now, like I was just looking at probably possibly selling US30 here because with over the weekend, so I saw that I just saw on Fox News that they were like some Houthis or Iranian people were bombing still, and that we're sending troops over. The United States is sending troops over to
Mm.
uh, so that like basically with if the Iran conflict with the US is still happening, then it's driving the market down. That's why it started pushing down on Friday, and um and it's gonna keep pushing it down until like so if we get signs of peace talks or if it's gonna end, then we'll see the market go back up. But right now, the overall trend of the market for Dow Jones US30 is going down. That's why I've been looking. That's why I was looking for sells all last week. Uh,
Mm.
but we'll kind of just go into the strategy here. So with my strategies, it's very simple, but you gotta be patient. So like what I'll do is I'll go onto the chart on the 4 hour. I'll go to the 4 hour and take an overall look, but I really only trade on the 1 hour. I want to find the trends, the trend lines, the vertical trend lines, and the support and resistance. So for example, here, I'll go here on trading view. So if you don't have trading view, I would suggest you get it.
Oh yeah, yeah. I
It's
have a premium version.
Yeah, really easy.
I've
I
been,
used to have
been
the premium version, but I realized I don't even need the premium version really anymore with just using the 1 hour chart. So
I just have it because the delayed data,
yeah,
and I had a TradeAvate account on the futures side that I was trying to trade as a personal account, but
nice.
these last 2 years have been rough on me on trading.
So on the trade of what was the minimum? Isn't it like $2,000 or $3,000 is the minimum amount you can have to trade on there, or what was it? What is it?
No, it's $100.
It's $100.
You
Okay.
just can't hold overnight unless you have several thousand.
Oh, okay.
But that's also why I went back to Forex because everybody that's tried to teach me trades Forex. And
Yeah,
with Forex, you can have $10 and hold overnight, no problem.
yeah, for sure. So let's go into this more on the technical side of things. So I'll do vertical trend lines, which when you see on my charts, it's the red vertical trend line. So I'll want to find a trend, and the trend to me is going to be like two or three touches on the one line. So right here, you can kind of see the trend right there. It's hit here, went down, hit here, went down, hit here, went down. And the reason for these big moves like this on these trends is mostly like big banks, hedge funds like Wall Street. They trade off of these trend lines like this a lot.
Uh,
That's why you'll see big moves here. So you see went down to here. You see that how I found that trend right there in between
yeah.
these two vertical lines. So we have the overall trend here, right? So I want to establish that. So one of the first things I do is, hey, what's the overall trend? And then I need to go into always going into Forex Factory and looking at the calendar and seeing what's going on here. So see tomorrow morning at 9:30 a.m. This could push the market either way. It used when the FOMC people would speak in federal chairman Powell would speak, it would usually push the market up. But recently, how things have been going, it can do either way. So usually, like now, after you see them speak at 9:30, you'll probably see Trump hold a press conference because he didn't like what they said, more than likely pushing the market down. Um, I just like to stay out of these. Like when I see at 9:30, I'll about 8:30, I won't get in. I probably won't get in tomorrow morning until like 11 a.m. But we're gonna try to find a sell here in a second, but overall it's so risky. I might not get in. But more onto the trading process. So after I find my overall trend, right? So at any moment, this price could go back up here, right? Which I expect sometime this week we'll probably shoot back up into this 46,000 zone up in here. So after I find the vertical trend lines, I want to draw my support and my resistance with the horizontal trend line. So are you following all this?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll come in here and I want to find where prices kind of hit in here, for example, like right in here. Okay, so I'll find that's my resistance levels. and then I'm gonna have my support. And a lot of times, um, with support, I'll kind of give you an example. But here, this was looking at our support, but you see, I think price is going to keep driving all the way down through those vertical trend lines. Usually, say that all this stuff wasn't going on with Trump, right? And Iran and the war that we're in, I would be buying right now here. Like usually I would want to buy because what happens is you'll have your support and resistance, right? And market will usually come below these support levels, right? And it's called liquidity to knock people out. That's where most of the orders are placed. So we would want to buy right here. It's like usually I want to buy. I'm trying to decide right now, like, do I want to enter this? Because if we sell right now, it's a very high risk trade, because it could go back up here. Showing with the technicals right here. So let me see if I can find a good example of a trade that we found last week.
I didn't realize how many trades you'd be taking out today until I just saw all your positions.
Yeah, so like for example on this right here, let me find a good trade. I think I want to look at Nasdaq too. And kind of just go over the same thing. You kind of already see. I wish I wouldn't have deleted the things from US30 so I could show you, but we're gonna kind of go into Nasdaq. So you look at Nasdaq. Look at Nasdaq. We're here on the overall picture. We got our support down here. But before Friday, this happened on Friday, so I think this is gonna keep pushing down. So we're probably gonna be looking for a sells here, but I'm gonna go in here on Nasdaq and kind of give you an example of how that support and resistance I was playing with last week. So you can see here, see I can see you see how I just drew that the support level. So it hit here, went below there, hit there, went back up. So you see how this essentially was almost like easy trading up in here.
Yeah.
See how it just going bam, bam, bam. So that's like the easiest type of market to trade in. Right now with what we're dealing with is hard with all the Iran stuff. Let me see if I can get a little bigger picture on here. So a lot of the times though, like for example, right here. So look, we had our resistance up here and our support down here, okay? So when price came back up to here, you see how it went above that previous resistant levels and then came back down.
Yeah, it hit all those
So
stops.
so a lot of the times I'll want to wait, like for example, right here, I would want to wait for price to come up here before I entered the sell around that resistance area. And you can kind of see that it's kind of like always changing with these lines. But right now on Nasdaq, and then we'll take a look at gold here. Looks like the market's going to keep dropping on. To be totally honest with you,
Yeah.
until
Yeah,
I
if you
think
look at the
I think
weekly time frame, there's a spot down near like 22 200
yeah,
that's where like the last weekly breakout was, and it hasn't gone back to even touch that
yeah. And then you got gold here. I need to figure out how to do the Zoom calls on my monitor because it's like I have a monitor I have this computer, then another computer hooked up to a monitor, and on my monitor you get to really see the overall picture of the whole chart and the pair that you're trading better
yet.
than just like this is a Microsoft Surface that I'm on now. So on gold, I mean you can just it was for a long time gold was just pushing up and up and up and up because of those tariffs, and then recently it looks like we're kind of on a trend down. You can see here what I was looking at last week. So another example of like my trades here. I'm gonna go to US30 that I love to look for. Let me go back to the 1 hour chart. So what's USD JPY?
Yeah, I got a love-hate relationship with gold.
So this is a good example. So look, I think it was last week. Okay, so I had this drawn up here. So we had our trend going up right here. Okay. And that's why I sold right there. I'm going to kind of give you an example. So, like, I love seeing this in trades is like, so we have our uptrend. So you see the overall trend of it. That's why we find the overall trend. Look, so we found it's bouncing back and forth between these two, right? Vertical lines. price came up and it had a trend up here. So when price broke through that trend line, that upward trend line, I know that's a confirmation down. Sometimes it'll go up and then come back up and then drop back down. So I love finding these trend lines that have exhausted because of the vertical trend lines that we drew up here. So you see how it came up. People, a lot of people were buying right here, hoping it would go up off this trend line. Anytime I see a trend line like this that's been going up, once it breaks through, it's like a little breakthrough strategy that I've kind of created. It
Hmm.
always, this never fails. It always comes back down a lot, right? And then you can see it back up in here. Um, with the downward as well. So look, on this is another example is it came up. You can see this trend right here. It came up to our resistant levels. So these I basically have two sets of resistant levels. Like I have my horizontal and then I have my vertical trend lines that are acting as support and resistance as well. And that's why I think this is going to come all the way down into here. Probably would drop below that and then shoot back up. I'm thinking about you see how that trend line was exhausted right there and it broke
Yeah.
through. Let me see if I can find like an upward one that was exhausted.
Yeah. This style of trading gives way better.
Yeah,
Um,
so
it gives a way better picture on where price will potentially go.
exactly, exactly. So that's the way like you can see like, if you're just sitting here and you have all your technicals, you have your I call these like I just call these vertical trend lines the red ones. Like I find that's just to me in my head, hey, this is the overall trend of what's going on right now, right? And then say I was late to the trend and it's up here, it's already dropping. I'll look for those trend lines up that and then okay, I know it's gonna break through that. Why is this working here? Because everyone that just is trying to trade these trend lines, these smaller ones that they're buying right there. It's coming down to here, so we're gonna take their money when it drops through. It's same with here. It's always gonna respect these overall vertical trend lines because this is what the big banks and the hedge funds are placing $1,000,000 trades on. Usually they all trade like this. Look, so that's why you see these huge moves, right? Look at that huge move to the upside right there. What's that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then this will probably keep pushing down. I bet we'll see lower lows here because of what's going on in Iran. I don't see this conflict slowing down right now. They like I saw on Fox News earlier, they had just sent like 5,000 troops to the Middle East. If this thing was calming down, we wouldn't be sending more troops over, right?
Yeah. It's a death sentence sending them over
Yeah,
there because it's
yeah,
nothing but mountains.
it's ridiculous. Yeah, we just kind of have to adapt to to the market. You know what I mean? Like I'm telling you, this strategy right here, when there's no news going on, it's literally like I'm telling you, I win 90% over the time because of this, and it's very simple. I have three things I'm looking at. Where's my vertical trend lines? Where's the overall trend of this market? So I know the
Hmm.
technicals. Where's my horizontal lines at? Which are my support and resistance. Where is this touched multiple times? Where is this price going? Okay, I got both technicals. I need to go check Forex Factory. If I see a red folder, which we don't have nothing until 9:30 a.m., so that really means this market's moving off of what's happening in Iran and also off technicals. We're not even down so to here. So if I come in the market and say like when we were like right here on Friday, I was like, I'm not gonna enter this because it's too late. Um, Right now, I think if we go with a short stop loss on US30 and sell this, I think it's gonna keep dropping into this six. Oh, that would be a big sell actually. So I think it's gonna continue to drop down into here. And another thing that I look at on this is um my stochastic. So the stochastic indicator, it was like created in like the 60s or 70s or something like that. And basically this stochastic is gonna show hey, when is price oversold and when is it overbought? Right now it's oversold, so you see it's below that 20, the green, you see the green line right here, and then you have the red line.
Hmm.
So when it's below this, like I would say like 90% of the time it's gonna go up. It's the price is showing that it's oversold, right? But if there's news going on, you can disregard what the stochastic is showing. but I'll also add this into my trading plan because I've won a lot of trades just off the stochastic. So I can look at the chart, okay, I know my technicals are going down, I got my support and my resistance levels. Okay, the stochastic is showing oversold, so we are due for this price to go up, right? A lot of the I think in the Asian market, a lot of the Japanese and a lot of the like the Asian traders like to use the stochastic. You see that I see that work a lot, but I'll add this in. Okay, price is showing over sold here, so it is looking for a buy. But when there's news going on, the stochastic doesn't work, right? I'll say that right now. It'll stay down here forever, and price will just keep dropping, right? So we can. I think you see on the Telegram because that's why I used to use
Yeah,
stochastic
that,
a lot, but
that
not it. There's sometimes when it works, sometimes when it doesn't work with the news, it doesn't work too well.
yeah, that's what that bot was using, the one that I bought from you when we
Yeah,
first met.
yeah, but
But
it doesn't the bot wasn't it doesn't trade as well as like you can do it manually, right?
yeah,
So
because I noticed that when it was oversold, it was holding
yeah.
sell positions, and then when it would switch to overbought, it would hold buy
Yeah.
positions.
So with this strategy, like for you to practice on this is, go to TradingView on your computer and then just start trying to mark up charts and see if you can find trades. This works on every single pair, right? The
Mm,
support resistance is what I've been finding to work the most is recently with the way the market is waiting for price to come down below that. Like right now, I would want to like this right now would be like I would be buying the shit out of this if we weren't at war with Iran. Like this would be the perfect buy right here. But I want it to come down into here. So we're
and
gonna
starts and then starts
yeah.
showing buying pressure.
Yeah, like once it comes down into here, what I'll wait for is I'll wait for this to come down in here, and then I want like 1 or 2 hours worth of green going up, like a little tiny ones. And I know, okay, well, it's starting to switch sides because sometimes it could just keep dropping. But I personally think that with what's going on with the Iran stuff, I think it'd be a good sell right now. I think it's a risky trade. Um, I want to wait, but we haven't done anything since we haven't traded at all. I think I'm going to enter a sell on this and I'm going to use a 1,000 pip stop loss. So it's like $100. So I'm going to put my stop loss at 45,000. Yeah, I'm gonna send this to the group here.
I gotta see if this even lines up with my broker because my broker be having different prices.
Well, yeah, I
That's
mean,
what that's the one thing I hate about Forex.
so just know this. Like my rule of thumb is I'll in US30, I'll use like $100 or $150 stop loss, right? And then I'll use a take profit. You want to use a take profit as like 3,000 pips, about $300 take profit point. So you could use if you use take profit 3, you'd be better off with my trades, I think.
Yeah, that's what I've been trying to go with is take profit 3.
Go 45,000 and then 40.
3. Yeah, see, price on my broker is way off. On TradingView it says 44,885, and on my broker it's 44,927. It's like 50 points off. I'll just enter a sell
Yeah, let's see here.
and figure out
Yeah,
what
then you could
stops.
enter a sell and then do the and then adjust the stop loss and take profit here. I need to hurry up and enter this.
Guess I'll put the stop loss above that gap. That'll give me a $16 stop.
See here. 800, 700, 24, 6.
Hey,
So this is a little riskier trade. Like I said, I'm hoping I'm very positive. I think it's going to go down. The with the stochastic and everything showing over sold, it could go up later. But I think the overall market of this, with what we're everybody's seeing in the news with the ground troops, um,
mhm.
I think it's going to continue down until till the till tomorrow morning when they speak. The federal Chairman Powell speaks. That could push up the market. That could also they're probably going to talk about interest rates and all that. And to me, like when you try to start trading all that, like it can get really fucking confusing trying to figure out interest rates. Are they moving the market up or down? So that's why I just stay out of those. And a lot of like we'll go over like CPI like in when that comes up in like the only news I like to trade is CPI, right? If it's all red, it's very simple. On Forex Factory, if it comes like on CPI, I think it'll be like on the 13th, but it'll come out if the folder's like showing like if it's all red, like if it's all green, it means you sell, and if it's all red, you buy.
Gotcha.
Yeah, we'll go over that when it gets closer
Yeah.
to that.
I'll be, I'm just gonna add like 50, 50 pips, 50 points to whatever your signal thing says, because my broker is like 50 points off.
Yeah, that'll work. That's fine.
Well,
So, let's see here. So our trade, we're gonna be looking for that sell down into
so I got 44, 650 for the TP and
yeah, which I think I
45.56.
bet it'll come down like probably
I know it'll fill that gap eventually.
yeah.
But what I've noticed the past few weeks is that Monday will push up and then when Tuesday will continue and Wednesday will be the high of the week.
Yeah.
Except for last week, Monday was the high of the week, which is weird.
Yeah, we'll
But with
see.
it being free fall on the higher time frame, it makes
Yeah.
sense.
So this is kind of going away against my strategy a little bit, but with the what's going on, I think we can see this drop a little more. Um and I'm gonna stay out. We got US stocks, futures sink, oil price surges as Iran war shows no signs of letting up. Is Trump losing his grip on the stock market? Yeah, because he tries to come out and say something every time it starts going down. That's why when President Trump say, as soon as you'll see it here, like it'll be like, oh, President Trump speaks a little orange folder. As soon as that shit posts, like I constantly check this day because it won't show it at first, and then it'll be like, oh, there it is. It'll just pop up. I'll come in here and check this like every 30 minutes on my computer.
Yeah.
As soon as I see like, hey, he's speaking, I'm just gonna start buying, right? But I think it was last week where I should have waited. I should have had waited like probably like 15 minutes before he spoke. That's probably what I'll do next time to buy. Um, looks like this could push down here because this could have their overall. If we look at the overall, like what this could do, because if it's at like that with like how Nas is, if this
Hmm.
drops, this could continue to push down. So like on Nas, look, if it's starting to break through this, look. So Nas is at a 4 hour support level where prices came down in here before and shot up. You see that how it kind of did this a couple of times over here. So that's where I found the support level over here because we already broke through. And this is kind of an example on NASDAQ, like where like last week, okay, look at price came down and we were able to buy, right? And then it's kind of came. You see how it price is always respecting those support and resistant levels and those overall trends. But I think look at Nas is shooting down that. So Nas is shooting down. That means US30 should be shooting down as well. Yeah, we'll move the stop loss like above the entry on this one a little like once it hits a take profit one if it can keep going down. So because this is like I said, it is a little riskier trade.
Right.
Yeah. Take a look at gold. Because gold was like going up with all the for the longest time due to the what was it? Due to the tariffs. Let me look at this on a 1 hour. So with gold, you see how I had that upward trend line and it broke through. That's how I knew to sell gold last week. You see that?
Yeah.
I found that upward trend line. I was like, okay, it broke through that. But before that happened, I was looking, okay, look, I was thinking like that's my resistance levels when it broke through that. I was like, okay, we're gonna be looking for sales eventually. So to me, like that's the new support. I can delete that one. No, that's a new resistance levels. But look right here, price is gonna continue to respect this trend right here, or it's gonna drop through. What I want to look for a buy on gold, I would want to buy gold in this 43.24 area. Well, if it drops down in here like 43 or 42.90 area. But right in here, like this could go either way right here. It could go up, could go down through this, right? I'm gonna stay out of gold. See, look like
Yeah. Yeah,
US,
gold has been weird.
yeah, go US
But
30.
it's a love hate for me because it costs more to trade and I always inherently oversize on it and then I blow my account. But here lately it's been
Yeah,
saving me.
yeah, I like Dow Jones and Nasdaq. I'm gonna get on the I'm gonna take a. You do you like Trade?
I haven't used the platform. I just link it to TradingView.
Yeah. Huh. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look at that on Trade. 'Cause I would trade I've been trading futures a lot on plus 500. It's
Hmm.
like you can start with like I thought on Trade you had to because I was trying to see how much I could grow like a couple $100 account on there. I got up to like 3,000 in the last couple weeks. But I want to get on Tradeovate because I know you can like link it to the trading view
Yeah.
and trade like that. So,
Yeah,
but
it's only like $100 minimum, I think,
yeah,
for NASDAQ, and then
nice.
you have to pay a little extra for the link.
Yeah. So do you have any questions about the strategy here? Or any questions about the support resistance or what I'm doing? It's like really simple, really just waiting for these opportunities. Um,
So
and
you mostly get your support and resistance from the 4 hour time frame, right? And then just
No, no, 1 hour time. So I'll look at sometimes I'll look at the 4 hour recently, like I like looking at the 1 hour because like I said, I'll go in, I'll find the trend, and then I'll find my support and my you really I'm just on the support and resistance is like where is it touch? Like where is it going? So like look, I had that as this was gonna be my resistance, but look, it never came up and touched there because
right.
it was respecting that red trend line on top.
Okay. So you basically just stay on the 1 hour for everything then.
Yeah, stay on the 1 hour for everything, yeah.
Okay. That
Uh-huh.
that works great for me because way my job schedule is, it sucks, man. I'm a long
Yeah,
haul truck driver, so it's just like it's hard to do specific timings in the markets, and then
yeah,
I pretty much have to swing trade with it. But
yeah. So what you can do with this strategy is, like, even if you're driving on your truck, you can, do your 10-hour drive, and then when you get a chance to sit down, the market it could work out in your favor because instead of trying to get in and get out, like, you could be like, "Okay, look, the market's here." And my favorite times to trade in the day are about 11. I like entering about 10:30 to about 12. And
mm,
then after 5 o'clock, it seems like it always works out best for me, at those times. Like, if I try to get anytime like, most of the times I try to get in on New York session and, like, because I wake up at 6 a.m. every day, and I'm just watching the shit. I'm like sometimes I just don't like trading, and it just seems like I lose a lot for some reason.
yeah,
The market can go either fucking way with all the news and stuff that comes out, so if I'm just waiting, um, for those times, it usually works out, but those are the times I find myself winning the most.
I got you.
Yep. But what I would do is, if I would go and start marking up charts, gold, US30, Nasdaq, take some look at some Forex pairs, and then screenshot it, and then send it to me. And if you find an opportunity, we can go over that, and then play with that, and then we can get on a call like tomorrow, and you can share your screen, and we can kind of just go over and everything and see if it's making sense to you what I'm doing here. And then when I see a trade opportunity in the group, and we'll see if it matches up with your analysis that you have, right?
I got you.
Yeah, so,
That
like I
should
said,
be
like I
available most of the day tomorrow. I do have to take my truck to the shop.
yeah, alright, well, just yeah, just let me know, and, hopefully this trade will be in our favor here. I think we should see it, but we're kinda going like I said, this is kinda going against my strategy, but I think the overall news right now is gonna be, gonna win us this trade, and, like, I mean, it's on these so
All
these
right.
these, vertical lines, like I said, they also act as support and resistance as well.
Mhm.
Um, it looks like we're going down. I mean, I really think that this is gonna go down here. I think that NAS is gonna keep breaking below this, support level before it goes back up, so, yeah, I'll keep you updated on this trade, and just practice marking up those charts, and like I said, just like if you're working, just don't worry about looking at the charts until, because some of your best trades might come from, you just had a 10-hour shift. Now the
Yeah.
market in the exact position you be in, instead of you trying to force something when it's not there, right? You always be
Right.
patient. The market's always gonna be moving and doing these things. Like they've been it's the price of this, and it's been going off these technicals, man, for like since I start like when I figured this out in 2018, like it really
Mhm.
changed my whole trading game, made me a lot better. Just making it simple, because getting in on the 5 minute and the fucking 1 minute, it can really
Yeah,
confuse
that
you.
should be screwing me up.
Yeah, you can't see it, the overall trend of what's going on. The trend is your friend, right? The
Yeah.
market's usually always going with the trend. So
Yeah,
yeah,
and I made the mistake of starting out scalping the 1 minute on breakouts. And
that shit
here
can
I
get
am.
frustrating, man.
Yeah, and here I
That
am a
shit.
year and a half later, still struggling, just trying to figure out something, and my psychology is shot to no end. But
Yeah, this
at
should help
least,
your psychology a lot. You'll see it's like once we start getting you to win with like I want to be able to get you to win without using the same strategy without me having to tell you.
yeah.
Yep. So we'll see how this trade plays out, and then I'll go from there, and we'll see what happens. And
All
I'll
right.
talk to you tomorrow, or probably
All
later
right.
today, actually. All right, sounds good.
Yeah, I'll be available for a while. I'm gonna be watching some of these videos to get caught up.
All right, sounds good.
All right. Catch you later.
All right, you have a good night.